Hello there and good morning. Last night, the UK Prime Minister Theresa May and the President of the EU Commission, Jean-Clade Juncker, told a press conference that they had reached what they call a legally binding agreement to solve the Irish Border Backstop issue. The title of the document in question is long, but it calls itself an instrument relating to the Withdrawal Agreement. But the first thing I noted in the press conference video was the stony-faced Mrs May. She did not look like a national leader that had reached a significant breakthrough. No smiles and no chit-chat. She was not a happy bunny at all. Now, although I'm not a qualified lawyer, one of the things that concerns me is the reference in the document to Article 31 of the Vienna Convention on Treaties. What it says is that this instrument, therefore, constitutes a document of reference that will have to be made use of if any issue arises in the implementation of the withdrawal agreement. To this effect, it has legal force and a binding character. First question, how much real legal force does it have, and what is the difference between legally binding and a binding character? The second question I have is how much weight does this have when, as I understand it, the EU itself is not a signatory to that convention? The third question I have is, does this mean that the withdrawal agreement is actually a treaty between 28 separate states, or is it an agreement between the UK as a nation state and the EU as an international organisation? If it is a treaty between 28 states, how difficult will it be to amend it or get out of it? Now, to get a clearer picture, I went and looked at the House of Commons order paper for more clues, and this was where it becomes crystal clear. The order paper lists the items of business in the House of Commons and spells out all the motions and amendments, etc. And the bit that should have everyone sitting up and getting ready to ditch the deal without further ado is the statement where the PM is asking the House to approve this new instrument, and I quote, which reduces the risk the UK could be deliberately held in the Northern Ireland backstop indefinitely and commits the UK and the EU to work to replace the backstop with alternative arrangements by December 2020. End quote. There you have it, which reduces the risk the UK could be deliberately held in the Northern Ireland backstop indefinitely. Reduces the risk, eh? Clear as the nose on your face. It can't be fully legally binding and is therefore of absolutely no use. Further, the government has had to issue another separate document, a unilateral declaration, setting out the sovereign action the UK would take to provide assurance that the backstop would only be applied temporarily. And this document says, the United Kingdom records its understanding that nothing in the withdrawal agreement would prevent it from instigating measures that could ultimately lead to disapplication of obligations under the protocol. So much for sovereign action. What does records its understanding and instigating measures mean? This deal just has to go today. And the Remainers have waded in with all their usual amendments about extensions of Article 50 and revocations of Article 50 and the like. Far too many to go into here. It's gonna be an interesting day. Anyway, what do you think? Please leave a comment below and thank you for watching.